Dustin Pipes. I'm team principal of Pipes Motorsports Group from Fresno, California. Originally from Madera, California, and that's actually where the team shop is right now, where we're doing this. You know, the family as a whole has been in racing for as long as I remember. I mean, photos of me, you know, on a Suzuki little 50, you know, when I was 4 years old, right? My parents, my aunt, my whole family, we grew up around racing, so they were race promoters. So racing was kind of always in our blood. I raced professionally for probably like 8 years or so, and transitioned to starting a race team. Yeah. So, and the motors are all good and everything. Going from being a pro racer to a team owner, I think there's not much comparisons, to be honest with you. You know, the stresses of being a team owner and, you know, the business side of things are much more real than maybe having to worry about jumping a triple or doing a rhythm section or figuring out a whoop section quicker. You can relate to these guys so well because you've been there, right? You know, you've had to try and find half a tenth or something like that, and you've had to deal with confidence issues and stuff like that. And so on one hand, it makes it easier to relate, but on the other hand, I guess in perspective, those problems are a lot smaller to me now that, you know, you deal with stuff in the real world. So it's kind of a little bit different. To stay focused, doing all this is just, you got to make a list and you got to check things off your list. And it's something that I've struggled with in the past that, you know, my dad and my aunt have tried to teach me, is just to not get overwhelmed and to take things one problem or one thing at a time. And that's really like the secret, I feel like, is if I don't have a list and I don't check these things off, that you get overwhelmed because you're scattered. So there's no chi, there's no rituals, there's no nothing. There's just writing the problems down and trying to fix them. I mean, in terms of hobbies, I mean, I guess, you know, going out to eat, getting drinks with friends and stuff like that. But, you know, for us, it's moto 24/7, right? So, and honestly, that's how you have to be successful in the sport, is you got to be thinking and you got to be working on it. I mean, there's always things that you do to kind of take your mind off it, right? Whether it's a TV show or something like that. But I mean, if you call me at 10 p.m. with a problem on the race team, I'm going to answer the phone call. You know, if you call me at 4 a.m., I'm going to answer the phone call. So it just kind of is what it is. It comes with the territory. So this will be more like the machine shop and dyno room and stuff. As we expand, we're going to move everything over here. So our dyno's been sitting on a pallet for like a month. So glad to kind of get this project underway and wrapped up. I know Larry will be happy. So just trying to bring everything in-house as we grow, so we're self-sufficient. So really eager to kind of get this next stage off and running.
Here we go. Off the chaos corner we go.
You know, we're thinking globally, right? We're trying to grow the sport and get bigger. And I think that's something that World SX is trying to do, and that's their mission. And I think there's so many supercross fans worldwide that don't get to experience guys like Ken Roczen or Kyle Chisholm that they really would love that opportunity to. So to be able to market and showcase those athletes to a global audience, I think is what appeals to us. And not only to us, but to our partners or to our potential partners, because this is a business, right? We want to grow and make money, and we want to win races. So for us, it's just, what is the next step and what is the evolution in this sport? And we feel like that is this.
This is a championship type effort here.
Man, I think what makes us special or different would probably be, you know, the staff and the people that work here, right? We got Larry Brooks, who's won championships with James Stewart and Jeremy McGrath and Chad Reed. Like, the guy's list is long. Travis Souls, who's Ken Roxon's wrench, like, he's been around a ton of teams. So we just have a wealth of knowledge, you know, on this team. As we've built it out, we've tried to really be smart with our hires, right? And put people in places that we feel like will help us succeed. And I just think the staff and the people that we have here just will allow us to continue to grow and be one step ahead of, you know, maybe those other teams, you know. I'm sure they're all trying and they're all working their ass off, but, you know, we feel like we have a recipe for success, and we're all in. I think what excites me the most is just being able to travel to new countries, right? And being able to bring the sport to people that didn't have the opportunity to before. We all think the sport is great, right? That's why we're here. We love it. So, and we think it's could be bigger than what it is, right? So to be able to educate and show those potential fans, you know, the great athletes, the great teams that we have, I think is probably the coolest thing about this, is being able to, you know, we feel like we potentially have a first-hand seat or a first-class seat of where this sport can grow into the future, and I think that's pretty neat. We're coming for you, World SX.